At Bawashir Electric once more, still dealing with the industrial automation motor control. So today we're gonna have a circuit dealing with forward and reverse, but in star and delta. So we are going to combine the two, forward and reverse, direction control, then star and delta starter. So we are going to kick off right away. We shall have our power supply, line 1, line 2, line 3, neutral and earth. So we shall have our cables straight away like that. Then this is a neutral, this is protection wire, that is earth. So we are going to have a circuit breaker, power line circuit breaker. It will be a 3-pole, of course. Then we are going to have our contactors. So we are going to start with direction control. We are going to have 2 contactors for clockwise and anti-clockwise rotation. So we are going to have this one for clockwise and this one for anti-clockwise. So from there we are going to have other 3, that is now for the star and delta connection. We're going to have this one to act as a main contactor. Then we are going to have for the delta and also a contactor for the star. Then right away we are going to have a protection overload. Then we are going to have our motor in a star and delta mode. So those are the components. Hope we are right to go and continue with this power wiring. So we are going to have our power circuit, then we are going to have the connector, connecting them together, 1, 2, 3, like that. So from there we shall, from the breaker we shall go to the contactor. Then from there we shall go to the main. This one is not properly aligned, allow me align it. So this one is around there, yeah. So we shall have our cables. Then from there to the overload. Then from there we shall go direct away to the motor, that is U1, that is V1, and that is W1. So allow me take the protection at once, that is the earth. So that is for protection. So now we are going to reverse, to interchange any 2 phases here to get the change in direction. So I'm going to maintain line 2, then I'm going to interchange 1 is going to go to 3. then 3 is coming at 1 definitely. That is already a reverse in direction. So after reversing the direction, we are going now to do a connection for star and delta. So here, allow me first align my contactor to be a little bit nearer, okay, since the space is little. I will have also need the control circuit there. So I'm going to have, this is line 3, it is coming at U1, so from W2 still it has to go to line 3. So I'm going to have it like that to line 3. It is the very line, but here it is meeting different coils. Allow me zoom a bit so that you can see properly. You see here we have U1, this is W2. So from V1 it is coming at U2, so it will have to go to the very coil, I mean to the very line, and that is the second. And this one from W1 it is coming at V2. It will have to go to the very line, that is line 1. So from there we shall now have the star connection. So here we are just going to short these 3, short that one, then short that one. So when I zoom back, so that is the power circuit: star, delta, reverse, forward. We have 5 contactors, so we are going to design a control circuit to deal with all these 5 contactors accordingly. Let's go. So I'm going to have my control breaker, a 2-pole, around somewhere here. Then I'm going to have my emergency around somewhere there. Then I'll have a stop around somewhere here. Then I'm going to have a start for the clockwise around here, then a start for the anti-clockwise around here. Then I'm going to have their respective launching or holding. I'm going to have this one here, then this one here. So I'm going to have now my coils. I'm going to have a clockwise here and anti-clockwise here. So if I first do the cabling of that one, I'm going to have here, let me get power from line 3 to the breaker, from the control breaker to the emergency, from the emergency to the stop, from the stop to forward clockwise start. Then I'm going to hold launching around here. As simple as that. Then the very power is going to come this side also. As simple as that. This is a joint here. So this one also is going to latch here. So this one is going to power direct this one, but before we are going to do here some interlock, let me have here normally closed. Have here some interlocking. Let me put it around here, then an interlocking around here. So now also let me extend it around here. So get our live wire. Then from here it is coming, this is forward contactor, I mean forward coil. Then this is our reverse coil. So I think that is the live routing for forward and reverse. Now we shall have a main contactor for the star, I mean for the star delta. We have the main contactor. I'm going to put it around here. So now the logic with this main is going to get power either from when this coil is on, it has to get power. When this coil is on, it has to get power, but it should not take back the power to, like when this one is on, this one having the power should not take it back to this one. It will be a short circuit. So I'm going to employ, normally I'm going to employ an OR gate. How am I going to do it? I'm going to have here my open contacts. I'm going to have here my one, those two open contacts. One is for this one and one is for this one. So if I name this one forward, then this one I'll also name it forward. Then if I name this one reverse, then I'll also name this one reverse. Are you seeing? Yes. Let me try to zoom so that you can see. Maybe my letters are small. So this one is forward, this one is forward, this one is reverse, this one is reverse. So this main contactor is going to get the power from that AND gate, from that OR gate. So we are going to have a loop here of the kind, then it's going to power our main contactor like that. So now this one is going to get power from this coil, and this one is going to get power from this coil. Are we there? So that is how we power the main contactor. So the main contactor of the star delta. So from there we are now going to have the timer, connection timer, then I'm going to have the coil for star and delta. This one is for delta and this one is rotation for star. Let me rotate this one. So from there at the same time is going to power the timer, this very one, it powers the timer. So this one, these ones we are going to interlock them, to interlock both of them, that is normally closed of each other. Have here normally closed, normally closed. Then their power passes through the timer also. So normally closed is going to power the star. I think this one can be my star. Let me put it somewhere here. Then the normally open is going to power the delta. Then if I do the cabling, this one is going to power, normally open is going to power the delta. Then normally closed is going to power the star. Are we there? Then here it's going to come like that. So if I do the naming, this one is delta, can just call it D or DT. Let me call it D. Then this one is the star, let me call it S. Are we there? Then this one is the delta now, interlock, the delta. Then this one is the star, S. Then this one I'm going to name them, my timer I named it just T, the same as this one is just T. So where are these terminals going to get power from? They are all going to have the same power, but from here from there, this one is an OR gate. It is preventing power when this one is on and the power comes to these components. Here this one does not allow it power to go to this one. Also when this one is on and power is coming to these components, power does not go back to this contactor here. So from there I think what is remaining, we can put the neutral. So I'll have here my neutral cable. I'll take it through, then this one here, this one here, like that, like that, like that. So I have to take it back to the power supply, of which our neutral is coming from here to the circuit breaker. So from the circuit breaker it's going to run down. I think we can do a simulation and see. Before we do the simulation, let me give my timer 5 seconds to switch from delta to star. 5. Okay, then also I'm going to name the components. This one I can call it MCB. So this one is emergency, EM. This one is stop. This one is start of clockwise or forward, and call it FX. Then this one is start of anti-clockwise, can call it RX, reverse. Then this one is self-holding of the forward, which I shall name F. Then this one is the self-holding of reverse, just as we named them here, F and reverse. Then this one is the interlock. So this one is for reverse and this one is for F, forward. Are we there? Anything remaining to be named? I think we have named everything. So here, naming our contactors, this one reverse, this one F, yes. So this one main, I've called it is just K. Okay, then this one is a star, that is S, that's how I've just called it. Then this one is delta, just called it D. Okay, the motor shall remain the motor, the overload shall remain. Oh, what I've forgotten, you can have here the overload relay. You can have the normally closed of the overload. Where can I get it here? A normally closed. Can have it here on the neutral. Then I will delete this wire and do a rewiring. So I'm going to have my cable through the normally closed of the overload, and now here the overload is F. That means I should also address it as F, this one. To save time, I will not go into the pinning 11, 12, what. Let's get the basics of the normally closed and open of the contacts so we can do a simulation and see what happens. So before we go for the simulation, I've done here a little change. This is TH, I've named it with this one TH. I had named it F, so it was going to contradict with this one, so I put that into consideration. Also our timer coil here, I named it T with its contacts T. Then this one I named it MCCB. So now we are going to do a simulation. How does this one operate? Reverse, forward. Then this one is the main, this one is the delta, this is the star. So when we do a simulation here, play, then I switch on the power breaker, I switch on the control breaker. My timer, I have given it 5 seconds to switch from star to delta. So this one is forward, or clockwise. So when I switch it on, you see the motor is running in a forward direction, but under star and main contactor with a star contactor. Are you seeing? So when the time will end, after the 5 seconds, we shall see that it has now changed to delta. It has left the star, it has changed, it is now in delta with the main contactor, but with a forward contactor. So even though we switch on, this reverse direction does not work. So what do we have to do? We first stop. I see. Then now when we switch the reverse direction, you see the motor has changed the direction, but again it started with the star and the main contactor. I see. Then also after the set time, that is 5 seconds, we shall see what happens. You see, it leaves the star and now goes in delta, but still under the reverse direction. Stop. When we again forward, are you seeing it has again changed the direction, but it starts with the star and the main contactor. As these coils are changing here, the timer is here, which is counting. After the 5 seconds, you will see it has now changed to delta contactor with the main contactor, but under the forward contactor. So I think you have tried to understand that. Thanks for watching. This has been part 1. So now we are moving on to part 2. We do the real wiring with the real components, real contactors and the real motor. It will be so amazing and so wow. Please subscribe, share, like and comment with any concern that you got. Let's learn together. Thank you. See you when you see me in part 2.